on the phone from London. How are you both doing?
Great. Thank you very much.
We're good, and you?
Yes, good. I know you've just arrived in London. Where have you travelled from?
We're a bit across Europe.
Okay. Are you on the move already then? So basically the record Hyperdrama coming out on the 24th of April, but has the machine is already whirring. You're having to kind of fly around everywhere and chat to people like me. It's all kicking off.
Actually, it's our first radio.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So it's been a while.
It's been.
Can you tell us how it feels then on the eve of releasing the first single? How do you feel about having a new record out there? As you say, it's been a while, but it's this kind of excitement of a new record being sort of put out to the world.
Yeah, it's super exciting. It's also a bit like frightening in the sense that, but obviously, like all the music we put out, we are 100% proud of it.
Sure.
But it's a bit like like having to put your child to primary school for the first time. You know, it's
they keep looking back at you nervously as they go through the door.
Yeah, sharing it with the world.
So this is the first record that you guys have made in a long time, and I mean it must be annoying when you kind of haven't made a record in a while, because the first thing that everyone wants to ask you is where you've been and what you've been doing. But I kind of do want to know that. So what have you been doing for like the last 7 years?
We've been living the life.
Okay, a nice life.
Yeah, a nice life. But actually, like our previous record was from 2016, so that was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
But by the time we finished the cycle of Woman, that was our previous album, it was already 2019.
Sure.
We got busy. We released like a concert movie called Iris.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
I did my solo album. But yeah, that's not a frantic rhythm, but we did some stuff.
So as a duo, are you always sort of tinkering and making things, or do you need to kind of set a date and say, look, this is the date where we're going to start kind of recording music for this new album, or do you kind of already have stuff ready to go over the 7 years?
We have ideas, but we make sure not to do anything before the first day of recording, and then we have this other rule of only working every other week.
That's nice.
Yeah.
This is a lovely way to work.
Yeah, that's a lovely way of enjoying life as well.
So it's not frantic, and you're not up all night?
No,
This is
anymore.
Lovely. I know you've mentioned before that every time you start together on a new record or a new project, kind of everything has changed the last time between sort of technology and playing live, and you kind of have to learn the tools again. Has that been the case this time?
Yeah. Everything is changing. Like actually, we are not in the studio. It's just an AI speaking to you now.
Is it? Okay, this is good. So you're probably just asleep somewhere.
We wish.
I know you've spoken before about the importance for you for not following trends, as you've mentioned before. If you follow trends, you're always late. But when you haven't got together and made an album for a while, it must be hard, because obviously you're both listening to music that you haven't made. Do you kind of have to work quite hard at not being too, I guess, influenced by the things around you?
It's kind of easy for us because we are trying to like preserve ourselves from the outer world when we are doing a record.
Okay.
And obviously we are very bad at following trends.
Sure.
So every album cycle, we are kind of hoping that the revival would catch us.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess now we are in this kind of era.
Yeah, and I guess what's exciting is rather than following trends, we are more excited by making things that are completely unknown for us.
Sure.
Or new, and this is where we get the excitement from.
You've been working with Kevin Parker from Tame Impala on this record. Can you tell us a little bit about how this came around?
Yeah, it's been like we've listened to Tame Impala like forever. That goes up to like before the first album, and we always had him in the back of our heads, because although Tame Impala's music and Justice music don't sound alike, we felt that there was quite a big common ground, and that it was feeling like a natural collaboration to us.
Yeah, I felt when I first heard it, it seemed to me like a very natural thing. I kind of, on paper, I was like, oh, this is an interesting thing that's happened, but the minute you hear it, it seems kind of like a perfect match.
Thanks. And so we started like working on that song around like 2021, I think, and we presented him the song and the idea that we had, that we wanted it to sound like if we had found a sample of like the disco version of Tame Impala, you know, like maybe Kevin and the Parkers,
yes.
And that we were like sampling it and using it to make like some sort of like industrial disco song. And actually that's how the song is made, you know. It's like the first third is like industrial, all electronic, and then there's the whole mid section that just sound like a disco song.
Yeah.
And then you're back into the industrial thing until the outro. And we wanted like to really streamline the music and the melodies to try to get kind of like the essence of what we could make together, which we're like really focusing on the idea of making one loop that you could listen to forever, you know, and to keep things as like simple with as less words as possible. And it's quite challenging. It took us a long time to put this song together, although it has like only a few elements, but it's often like the simplest stuff that are the hardest to make.
It's always the same, always the same storytelling. When I can come in, hold on in the struggle dying. One more time, my ancestors, I swear I mean no offense, but you better learn to read it. It's all about membership.
Looking back then to kind of your inception on the scene back in 2003, is there anything about the culture that you kind of, I don't know, perhaps miss from back then when you're starting out in 2003? It's obviously a very different world now from when you guys sort of hit the scene.
No, like the times are changing and we are completely up for it. There's nothing really we look back at with nostalgia.
Okay, good.
Maybe apart from our like resistance to drinking.
Okay.
But apart from that, no, it's like things are changing and it's cool.
Well, listen, it's very, very exciting to have you both back. I think the kind of the dance world is very excited, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at Primavera amongst many other festivals this year. Justice, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for talking to us. Cheers then. Bye-bye.
Bye.